Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Summer Fresh. Real food you can feel good about every day. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Del Manor, Inspired Retirement Living. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Melita. Join the pursuit for better coffee.
Need extra space? We rock at Storage. Try 4 weeks free at a location near you. Access Storage, proudly Canadian and proud sponsor of the 2022 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Just a short drive north of Toronto, Vaughan is the ideal destination for your next road trip adventure. Go to visitvaughan.ca.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Draw 5 of the 2022 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts Championship, brought to you by Curl On. My name is Mary Chilvers, and I am joined tonight by my co-host, Janet Murphy. We are bringing this live to you from the Thornhill Curling Club. Now we are going to meet the teams.
From the Alliston Curling Club, Team Froud. Skip, Susan Froud. Vice, Christina Brouch. Second, Katie McLaughlin. Lead, Kaylin Gregory. Team Froud would like to thank their sponsors. Balance Plus, providing the world with the best curling equipment since 1995. Cliffs Drywall. Mr. Dairy and Food Distributing Limited. We move milk and much more. Holmes CPAs and Tax Advisors. Hurry Hard Amber Lager, a great way to celebrate an epic 8-ender. McCarran and Shabodiak Financial Services Incorporated, a division of Sun Life Financial. Oral Visc Metabolic. Visit oralvisc.ca today. Runback, designed by curlers, for curlers. And Twilight Contractors Incorporated. Call 705-931-4470. Introducing from the Ottawa Curling Club, Team Homan. Skip, Rachel Homan. Vice, Emma Miskew. Second, Sarah Wilkes. Lead, Joanne Courtney. Team Homan would like to thank their sponsors. AMJ, make your best move. Boost, now with 25% less sugar. BrokerLink Insurance. Cool Bet, stay cool, bet responsibly. Geranium, from the ground up. Egg Farmers of Ontario, get cracking. And Gold Line Curling, your best source for curling supplies.
Okay, welcome back everyone. We're just getting draw number 5 underway here. Friday night at the Thornhill Club.
Here we are.
Yes, we are, yeah. So, as you saw on the screen, it's going to be Team Froud taking on Team Homan tonight. Both with the same record, Janet.
2-2.
Yeah, both teams are at 2-2 right now. Quickly, we'll go over the standings here. So at the top of the standings right now, we have two teams, which is Team Duncan and Team Howard, both at 3-1. We have four teams at 2-2: Froud, Mann, Wazilki, and Homan. And then we have Inglis and Daly that are both at 1-3, going into draw number 5.
That's right, and after the 7 games of round robin play, it's the top 3 teams that will advance to the playoffs. So the number 1 team will head right to the final on Sunday afternoon, and the 2-3 teams will play in a semifinal on Sunday morning. So
Right.
after tonight, there's tonight and 2 games tomorrow, and then the round robin will be done.
Yeah,
and we'll
and then
see
we
where
got
everybody
to
falls
worry
out.
about or think about perhaps tiebreakers.
Yes, there could be one round of those.
Haven't really taken a good look at the draw yet, Janet, to see who still plays who and what the scenarios could be.
No, but there's after tonight's game, I think it'll be a little more clear. Some of the 2-2 teams are playing each other tonight, so
Yes.
that will break open. And Team Froud has Hammer to start tonight's game.
They do.
Susan herself threw the draw to the button, and she put it right on the pin. And with that, they get the advantage of last rock in the first
Yeah,
end.
so this is second time we've had Team Froud on this sheet, but this is our first look at Team Homan in this competition. And they do have 2 losses, which, you know, one of them got away on them this morning there. She had a draw for the win, and it just came up, you know, maybe a half a foot short right at the end, kind of fooled the sweepers a bit. So they're going to want to put a few more wins on the board now.
Certainly, this is a team that's used to sort of being at the front of the pack in the provincial championships, so I would not want to be necessarily playing them in the next few games because I think they got a bit of a bee in their bonnet, so they're coming out.
Yeah.
They'll be out gangbusters. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Interesting. Kristen Turcotte's throwing lead rocks for this team. Must have caught a bit of fresh pebble or a little tight on the broom on that open hit. And,
well, you know,
went
Janet,
right by.
you and I we curl together, seniors now, and we talk a lot about that first hit down center line that the lead has to throw. And quite often, nobody throws down that path the entire time they're out there practicing pre-game. And so you get caught up a little bit in it sometimes. You think, I think you have to give a few more inches of ice on those.
I agree. So our other matchups tonight, we've got on sheet A, we've got Daly versus Wazilki. Wazilki has Hammer to start that game. Inglis versus Howard, and Inglis has Hammer in that. And then on sheet D, we've got Duncan versus Mann, and Duncan has Hammer. So we'll keep an eye on those and keep those updated. As well, the game between Inglis and Howard is being streamed on the other Curl on TV station without commentary for the fans of those teams who'd like to watch, or people who don't want to listen to us talk.
Right. So Kristen trying to come around there. It's just a little bit light, ticks the guard. So Sarah Wilkes being asked just to put a guard kind of between those other 2 guards that are up there.
1, 2, just a 1. Just 1. Whoa. 1.5. Oh, you're good. Good, Sarah.
So Susan's not really liking how this is setting up for her team, and she's opted to go up and have her second stone, Grace Lloyd.
Grace Lloyd, yeah.
Try and make a double peel on those front rocks. Grace and the other player filling in with Susan this week, Emily Duchesne.
Correct?
Yeah, were the back and or skip and second, I think, of the recent silver medalists at the Canadian U21s. So they just came off an exciting week in Stratford and got the call up to fill in with the Froud team here at the provincials. So
great experience for these two young girls.
for sure.
So just manages to peel one of the guards. So I'm assuming that the Homan team's just going to want to replace that one again.
Tighter. The newer pass, but yeah. It's up to you guys. Here, take a look. Keep up your money. Good. Good, nice.
It's a pretty high guard, so Susan's not going to bother with that one. She's actually going to try to run the close to blue one into the house and maybe double out the one in the house.
Yeah. You know, even if when she makes this shot, you'll just see Homan play that out turn draw around again and try and get actually one buried a bit better, because the one that they're chasing is still only in the top 8 foot. So this is just a straight peel, however. Oh, nope, makes contact.
She
Sorry,
got a nice
bad
shot.
angle.
Yeah. Like full speed from the other game? Okay.
Not taking a whole lot of ice here, Janet. Edge of the 4 foot for this draw, but this team, as we know, we see them so much on television. They talk a lot about their outward releases, so they'll probably tend to take a little less ice. On
I
some of
agree.
these.
Yeah, tighter ice. They sort of slide at the broom and set the rock back towards the broom. Always lots of rotation. Probably gave them a little bit of trouble there in their first game yesterday, which I think they sort of were trying to figure out what it's like to be curling in a curling club again, but they seem to have a pretty good handle on it tonight so far.
There's a very nice shot there by Emma.
Want to follow it down or we can play that run? Back 4.
I think I like this call, right? If you try that run back, you don't make it, you're kind of in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not ideal if you're not shot, but it's not bad as long as you kind of get something in front. Like, the worst you're going to probably give up is the steal of one.
Try, well, I'm not sure.
This rock looks a little bit warm for their ideal.
Push it under further.
Yeah, so that's just going to rub and roll off. That's just a weight issue right there. Hack weight instead of draw.
Very much a weight issue.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, very heavy.
Yes.
So that, I'm not sure where Rachel called this, but is she calling it all?
She's
to come
calling
right
it in, top 8 in the round. And Emma gets to throw in the same path twice, so you can expect that this will be a pretty good spot for them. However, they are calling for line quite early. Looks like she might be clipping that guard a bit.
Oh, she's just picks the guard.
Ooh, that's a pretty tight hole, though. I think they might make it through that hole, but this time they have to throw a bit of weight with it.
Kind of stuffs it there, so a little unfortunate for Emily.
I mean, the Homan team can just sort of tuck that half under, half open, and
So this is, unfortunate when you get the hammer. But because unfortunately Kristen missed that open hit, and then Emily missed that draw, putting it right in the hack. And all of a sudden you're really just chasing the whole end just to try to score a point.
Exactly.
And I'll guarantee you, against a team like this, the mistakes have to be minimal.
They certainly do, and certainly not on open hits and open draws.
Yeah.
Clean it. Clean. Yep. Hard line.
They are calling for line right out of hand, but pretty good sweeping pair that seems to be holding it.
Hard. Keep going. As far as it goes. Keep going. As far as you can get it. Go.
So good news is they're in the rings and they're buried. Bad news is it's over curled from where they wanted it. So it does give Susan a little opportunity to hit and roll in underneath that pile. And she might get away with an easier opportunity to score.
That over curled by a lot,
Sure
I would
did.
say. I think maybe Rachel was trying to put that one maybe on top 8 center line, that
Correct,
Christmas tree thing we talk about.
Forward weight, try and get
So
a
this
roll
does
under.
give Susan an out.
And this will be her chance to get out of this end for her and her team.
Seems like it's up to speed in this
Is she
pass.
able to get a little inside roll?
I think based on the way we just watched Rachel's draw come down, depending on the weight she's choosing, I'm hoping she's just playing no more than like a hack weight.
Yeah.
She would be able to make that roll, but
Because sitting right there is not going to help her much. Rachel will do the same thing, and then she'll have trouble getting in there.
so in her hand. The weight looks like it's nice and easy, but they are calling for curl, which is never a good sign. So she's going to nose it. Roll away. Even worse.
Little up. Run back top. It's edge on edge. I think I'll just throw it a bit more positive. Okay. Right underneath. I'll throw it a bit more positive. Can we? Yeah. T-line. Top button. Yeah, if you can keep it in front of the T, but like back 4 is okay, back 8
I'm going
is
to put a
okay.
clock on this one, Mary, and see what we got.
Might run better in the wider, yeah? So just heads up. Okay, line's good. No, roll if it's 8.
So this looks like it's on a little bit of a wider path
Not deep
than our
if we
first one.
roll. Line's great. Not deep. It's heavy. Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to slide a bit deep. It's 14-4, so looks like it's probably just going to slide right through, certainly outside of the... So let Susan off the hook, and if she can duplicate her draw for the hammer, she should be able to score one this end.
That really surprised me that Rachel, I mean, that's a situation where you can come up short and your opponent's really going to have trouble. So I'm a little shocked, but we've been seeing this all week with the inconsistency of draw weight for everybody.
Top 4 was 15-5, so yeah, okay.
So last shot here for Team Froud in the first end, wanting to draw the 4-foot, take a point.
So we were Rachel's was 14 and a half, 14-4, and Susan's in a different path, a tighter path.
Grace.
And it's the same weight as Rachel's, so it's going to slide too deep, and it'll be a steal of 1 for the Homan team.
Okay, 1-0 for Homan after one end of play. We will be back in a moment.
Thank you to our gold sponsor, Del Manor, Inspired Retirement Living. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Melita. Join the pursuit for better coffee.
All right, we're back for end 2 here of draw 5 of the Scotties Ontario Championship, with Team Homan stealing 1 point in the first end.
Yeah, and they're just having their between end chat.
Their powwow.
Yep. We're waiting till they take to the hack, and Joanne Courtney will start the squad off for end 2.
So Rachel requesting the 5 rock be thrown for this. They must know something, Janet.
Well, I heard them talking about the 6 rock of Emma's last end. Emma thought it curled a bit, so maybe they're switching up that 5-6 pair in its entirety and giving it to Joanne. Might as well share that information with all the folks.
Yeah.
Line.
Okay, so
tight guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so similar to other games we've watched on this sheet, a lot of play is going to occur in the middle right now.
Line's good. Top 12, top 8. Line's good. Yep. Hard.
Now this rock is really curling. I mean, it's a little lighter than they probably wanted, but definitely was out wider than any of the rocks we've seen in the last few games and swooped right over. So I'm not sure if that grabbed something or in any case. Yeah,
well, I mean, I think it just looked to me a little bit light. But I think you're right. Like the farther you go out, the more it seems to curl. So Rachel's taking the edge of the 8. We'll see what this one does.
I think you can keep a broom on it. 5, 6. 6. Up 3. Hard then, get it in. It's not in. 2, 3. Yeah, it's real light. Molasses.
She comes up light too.
Maybe it is just a little heavier over there for the start of the game. Oh, really slow, it says Emma.
All right, well, Kristen's now coming the other way. Let's see what it does here.
I'm going to try and get a clock on one of these on the wider paths. It definitely looks like it's curling a bit more. Maybe they've, I think they got it dished a little and it's got that 8-foot fixed up a bit.
What do you like? Yeah, I feel like, okay. Yeah. So what feels, I would agree.
So I think having 4 rocks out front to start the game is probably to the Homan team's advantage right now, given that they don't have last rock.
Lead it. 9, 8,
They're playing a tap on their blue rock, and they sort of have a lot of real estate that they can tap this straight back, a little bit on an angle. But they feel that it's a bit heavier than they'd like. And that rock is going to go into the back rings.
Yeah. Just needed more ice. Anywhere but, like, if you had a bit more ice, we didn't have to sweep it. Yeah. Or, yeah, if it didn't hit. You're throwing 7-8 now?
Okay, Grace Lloyd gonna try to clean things up in the front here.
Yeah, this is not great, a great setup for the team with hammer, that's for sure.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Hard.
It's a very nice shot. Removing a couple of rocks from out front, sort of opening it up, changing up the colors, and creating some space for them to get into the forefoot when they need to later in the end. Okay, I'm trying to get a good time on one of these draws because this one should come through unobstructed, I think. Okay. They think this is just a biter. It's 15.5 seconds, so it is going to slide into the top rings, but a biter at best. Yeah.
It's better than full in wide open.
Well, that's not bad. And if I was Susan, she's trying to play a little board weight hit and roll, but I mean, even board weight and sitting right there is a pretty good shot.
Okay, Team Froud's going to get a nice roll in underneath. Hopefully stays on for them, and it does. It is second shot. I think we'll see Homan going around again. So Mary, I was just checking our stats here. Looks like we have 125 people joining us on the live stream tonight, watching us. So it's on the old YouTube page. Hopefully we're providing some interesting commentary of our observations here this evening. Okay, they like the weight a bit better. They're suggesting 4-5, which means top 12, top 8, which would let them lay 2. So see how this one comes down in the middle.
Room! Lots of room! Should have left it.
Yeah. So they've got it partially buried. Probably the Froud team has access to it with a soft weight shot. Maybe roll in for shot.
On my own, I'm dead buried. I didn't turn. Yeah. I was fine if we were over there.
So if she can get the roll here with board weight, she probably will be sitting shot at that point.
And it'll be a nice setup for them. The rock's starting to curl off center line. They got to hold it off the guard. I think
this is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's whether or not they get enough roll. It's a lovely shot.
Really nice shot.
Yeah. So, yellow team shot.
Yeah, so Rachel's got it, she can double peel. She even has maybe, I don't know, that run back double might jam.
On the blue at the back of the ring. So. Yeah. I expect we'll see some velocity behind this rock.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of speed.
Speed.
Close. Yep. Clean. Yep. Hard. 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 Drag it out. Hard. Woo, woo.
Yeah, there's the jam,
And just
but
as
she
we
gets away with
suspected,
it.
she gets away with it, but does leave a yellow rock in the ring.
Yeah.
So she kind of rubbed on that front yellow, pulled it back out.
I didn't release it. Oh, okay. I slid at you, and I'm like, if I release this, I'm just gonna float out. So I actually saw that you play it tight.
So Emily's being asked here to come the wide side around that yellow guard to get one behind it. This is curling early.
Yeah, curling early. Remember, we saw this with their leads first rock. Curled early, came up short. Looks like we've got the same. So I'm not sure if the ice is doing something different than they're expecting. I feel that it is.
Well, both teams are
both
struggling.
Teams. We've been fooled in this spot a few times.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the sheet's playing a little differently tonight, and they're still questioning where the right broom is.
I can always hit this if I don't make it.
But again, that broom was probably okay. She was just very much light on it. So they're struggling with the weight more than anything, I think.
Yeah. So Homan here has decided instead of just hitting and rolling, she's just going to play the come around on those staggered rocks that unfortunately the Froud team left. Staggered rocks are never your friend unless you're the first one behind them.
Probably first. Joe isn't it 12. Need 7. Whoa!
So
Looks over.
from my angle, I felt like Rachel slid a smidge tight on that and put it out towards the broom. And that's why they're trying to make it curl now. I think this ice is quite sensitive to release. And
Like a smidge, and I'll just take it out. That.
Janet, I'm actually a little surprised. Why didn't Rachel just hit the yellow one?
I think I heard her speak about the overlap on those yellows out front, and I think she felt like she could put the pressure on, get that rock in behind. The overlap guards were to her advantage.
I'm starting to wonder with the struggles on draw weight. Maybe teams should get more to a hit game. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. So, Susan's going to try this draw thing.
Let's see how
this goes
so
for her.
ideally, I think we want to be back 4. But we could go this turn, but we haven't really seen too many. They tried to go there and they didn't bury
we don't
them,
want to be back 4, but
yeah.
I think
a little slower.
So our sweepers are telling her that they think the weight's a little slower.
Looks like a ton of ice. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, this is never a great feeling when you're in the hack questioning the weight and the line.
That's right. Everybody's just a little, not too confident out there with reading the ice and drawing.
Mine's a little tight.
So Susan was definitely tight on the line on this.
Line's okay.
So they're suggesting line's okay, but I know that when this rock gets towards that center line in the past games, it's really curled. 14
It's actually
and a
pretty
half.
nice if she can sit.
I think it's going to slide a little deep for her and allow the Homan rink to come down and play in front of it. So interesting. That's 14 and a half down that path and goes back 8. Homan's draw that just bit the 12-foot was 14-1. So
Yeah.
it's definitely patchy out there.
Yes,
It's
it is.
definitely different paths. And this takes a lot of effort on the sweeper's parts to remember the pass, remember how many rocks have been down. This is what makes our sport so interesting, is that all 4 players are going to be involved in making
Yes.
draw shots tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rachel has now put the broom basically in the place where Susan let it go.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll see how hers travels down.
Well, she was light on the other side, so
Yeah.
we'll see. If she overcompensates on this side, throws it heavy, we think it's a little faster in this spot. So
Yeah. But I don't think we're telling them anything they haven't figured out.
no, no.
So room and a hand. Again, as we've talked about and heard many times, the Homan's team's rocks run a little straighter at the beginning and then sort of finish, and that looks like
Line's good.
it's
Okay, come on.
exactly the situation.
Right to it, hard. Hard, you gotta go. Sorry.
So Rachel really wanted that rock to actually be frozen down because this is leaving probably an option to run the yellow or the overlapped, run the blue or the overlapped yellows because they are frozen. Oh, no, she's going blue. Okay, yeah, good.
It's tight now with that rock there. Let's try this.
I mean, you could try and just do like back line.
That's what I was originally thinking, because I ended up over there, right? Yeah, just try and push it back.
Ooh, gosh. This is a tricky spot. So Susan's talking about throwing sort of back line weight, hitting what she can get to of this blue rock, which would be, I'd say at best, half, avoiding her yellow and having enough momentum to move it through the rings. That's a lot to ask.
It is. What she'd be very happy with taking 1 point.
Yeah.
So even if she just pushes this blue one back enough to get shot rock,
This is less ice.
doesn't want to overthrow it.
No.
Tricky little shot here.
A little more weight.
Okay, so she's definitely thrown more weight. She also threw it out towards the broom,
Yes.
and she will not be making contact.
Hard curl, Grace!
This is curling. So got enough. No, just misses it. Oh, and the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
that was a lot of weight.
Okay, another blue stolen. So
Yeah.
it's 2-0 for Team Homan after 2 ends. We will be back shortly.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Summer Fresh. Real food you can feel good about every day. Thank you to our silver sponsor, Riley Back Chartered Professional Accountants.
Okay, end 3 on the way here. Draw 5 of the Scotties Championship. And the Froud team has had the hammer in the first 2 ends and have failed to put a point on the board. 2 steals for the Homan team.
Yeah, and the Homan team's still having their between-end chat, getting
Yes.
ready to figure out how they want to approach N3. So we're waiting for Jay and Courtney to
Yeah,
get
the
to
first
hack.
end,
There we go.
Rachel called it in. The second end, after stealing a point, she called it tight.
Yeah.
Now they're up 2 points. I would think they're going to put it in the house.
I would
but
think so too.
Let's see what they do.
Yeah. as you suspected, Mary, they have called for this rock into the top 4 foot.
Yeah.
They don't have to do a lot of work right now.
No, they don't.
Team Froud does. So I haven't done a score update yet, so let's review. Sheet A, Daly with Silky tied after 2. With Silky has hammer. Inglis Howard. Howard is up 2-1, and Inglis has hammer. And on sheet 4, Team Man, after a blank and 1, generated 3 versus Duncan. So it's 3-0 Man. Duncan has hammer.
Now, Joanne Courtney put a rock just a little deep there, a couple of feet deep,
Yeah.
so going to be ignored, of course, and Susan will put up a corner.
Yeah.
And sweepers are walking the dog, so they say on this one.
Oh, boy. Kristen turned and walked away, so she's not very happy with herself. That rock not only went into the rings, it went right through the rings, so...
Yeah, you know, it's just we're seeing not little mistakes. We're seeing huge mistakes because that is a huge mistake.
That is. That's 15 feet too heavy.
Yes. I mean, you can throw it so much lighter with sweepers, you got to remember. So I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, like, everyone is just so struggling with draw weight out there.
So this is interesting tactic here. I guess Homan saying we don't need to steal anything. We want to force, get the hammer back, play our even ends. So even though she has a rock in the back of the button area, she's called Joanne's second rock as a draw to the open side.
Yes.
And she's just going to sort of say, okay, let's bang around and hit this end out and force you to 1. Joanne Courtney, a little warm, gets it to the back of the rings, but does manage to lay 2. And Susan, recognizing the guards are going to be a friend, is throwing a corner guard into the free guard zone. Wow, we're up to 171 people. Well, Kristen's not going to make that mistake twice, so she throws a very nice corner guard. Wow. And I must say I'm surprised that the Homan team is now going to go around that corner guard.
Yeah, and I've seen this a little bit in the men's play, Gushu and them. The top level teams are starting to use this tactic, but you have to be pretty precise to not make a mistake on this, because it can hurt you.
So the
again,
sweepers
this one's heavy.
Yeah, suggesting it's a bit heavy. Down into the rock they already have down there.
Well, they're definitely trying to help Susan Froud out here. I mean, this is a perfect setup right now for the Froud team.
Yeah. They get a couple of rocks in the back of the rings that are going to be in the way as you try to remove things, and they've got a corner guard. So it's a big shot here for Emily Lloyd. Grace Lloyd.
This
Emily's
is Grace,
her older sister, yeah. Well-executed draw here will go a long way to helping her team get some points on the board this end. Weight's lovely. It's wide open, however, so that's never a good thing.
bit wide on release there for Sarah Wilkes.
They have chosen the board weight, so they are able to help manipulate that rock with some sweeping, get a piece of it, roll everything out of the rings.
So try again to get one around this corner guard.
Yeah, they're caught in between buried rock and the weight to freeze to the back. Not ideal, but not terrible.
Not terrible, yeah. So Rachel's going to make a play on it. She can, it's pretty much fully exposed.
Yeah.
They'll fire it and try to get rid of both of them,
yeah,
actually.
Exactly. And they'll lose the shooter, lose the yellow, lose one of the blues, and sit two back there. So we got some Johnny Cash in the background.
Yes.
This one is really tracking for them.
Oh.
It's a miss, but
well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like that. See that draw, Mary, versus that hit and roll.
I don't like the hit. No. Either you draw here again and get a lot of separation here if you can. So just even biting the 8-foot, or you could actually freeze to the one that's on the 4-foot. Couple of options, but yeah, hitting's not one of them.
No, I agree. So they're asking Emily, and this is the Emily Deshane, to draw in around this corner guard. Establish second shot, guarded. And she's got a lovely looking line. We'll see how the weight goes. Just a little bit light, unfortunately. Now that's what the Froud team was kind of looking to do. So, and that's what we talked about. It's a little risky if you don't have hammer to come around those, but that's the perfect spot. Yeah. So now Susan's going back to that hit and roll. This is an all or nothing right here for sure. I hope they're choosing a very manageable weight. This rock is going to roll, however, it's going to roll the other way.
So I think we want to know that. She's in roll. I don't think we need to. Like, I would hate to catch ours. Okay, if anything, I'll do it. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Quarter on the rock. Should run straight, eh? Yeah. Top rock. Like 2/3 is better. Big half. Okay, 2/3.
So I saw Homan suggest that she herself wanted to have a big roll, try and make the double. She's done a good job of that. Now she's laying, I think 2 in the back here. Okay, so Susan's trying to play a shot, draw a shot. She's hoping to get partly tucked behind that blue one in the top 8 foot and create an angle that will make it difficult for it to be removed.
No problem, Janet, no problem.
No problem. Makes perfect sense. So they're calling for line.
Yeah.
They're going to rub off that top one. Her weight was really quite good.
It was good. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. If I roll in, I just kind of give her the nose hit back.
Okay, so Rachel is going to hit this one, and
I think she's happy
You want less?
to almost
Should be okay here, right?
peel it out because she made mention that if she nose hits, they have a nose hit back
Right.
shot. But I'm not sure. We can't quite see the angles.
It's close. Yep. No. Please. Oh, just please. Oh. Good, Rach.
Okay. I don't think a nose hit gives Froud a point, so she's going to be forced to draw here against 3.
well, she just threw the draw. She's taking a little bit more ice, and as we've seen, depending on where you put the broom, the draw weight seems to be a little different. So I think if she can throw the same, she should be close.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to catch it at the end because I had so much weight.
All right, last rock here for Susan Froud in the third end, drawing against a few.
Yeah, her draw weight was perfect on the last one. They're starting to say it's curling, so that means the weight's starting to come off of it a bit. So they're really rushing this to get it in. Just a little more than full 8 is what they need. And they got it.
Okay, she just gets it there for a point. So 2-1 now is the score here for Team Homan. We will be back in a moment.
Need extra space? We rock at Storage. Try 4 weeks free at a location near you. Access Storage. proudly Canadian and proud sponsor of the 2022 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Just a short drive north of Toronto, Vaughan is the ideal destination for your next road trip adventure. Go to visitvaughan.ca.
Okay, welcome back everyone to end 4 of draw 5. Score is 2-1 for Team Homan, and Homan has the hammer here in the 4th end.
That's right. And so if you recall when we started that last end, it was clear that the Homan team was looking to force the Froud team, so they're happy with that outcome.
Yes.
They're up 1 with hammer in an even end, so they're definitely in control of this game. And the Froud team's going to have to take a few risks in order to sort of flip the story. So in the background here, I don't know if anybody can hear, but we've got some entertainment this evening. And I'll tell you, if you're in the GTA and you're looking for something to do on a Saturday, it's definitely worth the drive to Thornhill. They've got a fabulous setup here, great committee, lots of viewing, lots of seating area, with risers here behind us. They've got some on-ice seating area. They've got bar service. So yeah, if it's something you're looking to do on a Saturday, there's a couple of draws going on here tomorrow, and you should make the drive to Thornhill. So, Mary, this is always an interesting setup. The Froud team threw the guard, and Homan's team came around and got that rock fully buried, but just in the top 12, biting the top 8. And then the Froud team plays the freeze. I always wonder about that shot, because now the Homan team only has to hit 12 foot out in the wing. And they're going to draw the play out there, and they're just prepared to play this. I'm always curious why someone freezes to a rock in the top 8.
Did you call the freeze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have not seen that very often. So
yeah, I think I've seen it a few times, and it makes me wonder if they forget that they're down on the scoreboard. Because at this point now, they're going to fight all in not to give up a deuce and go further down on the scoreboard. I mean, I don't know what the right call is. Maybe I would have rather gone around the blue in the rings, even if I go deep.
Yes.
If I get buried, get shot, get something back there, and draw play further into the house.
Right.
I know.
Kristen!
I think we see it on TV quite a bit too, and so teams tend to kind of build a playbook based on what they've seen, but I don't think this is the same type of ice surface that you're going to end up with a series of freezes and then a big weight shot to blow everything out.
Yeah, and normally when they're on TV, when you see it, they're maybe starting at top 4 freezing, then they freeze on that one, which makes it top 8, then it's a top 12, and there's a whole lineup of them.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so the hit and roll out there, Homan will just play the same draw here to the wing.
Exactly. I played this in my Wednesday night game the other night.
What?
This strategy.
Did
exactly this.
Mm-hmm. Did it work for you?
Yeah, I scored 3.
Okay, there you go. This one's coming up short.
Okay.
Wow.
Around everything?
So we saw earlier in the game there was a little more curl out in this spot, so I'm really curious to see if they get the swing, because certainly in the games 2 earlier today, this rock would not end up buried.
Yes.
Had no legs, like it probably squeezing up, like it wouldn't help it.
Here goes,
I thought it was a bit light, but I also still didn't think it would be short of the ring.
You gotta go,
Line looks great. I think it's just a bit light. Yeah.
Bounce it off of here if you can.
I think it's 6 feet shorter tonight than it's been.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about it, but nobody's throwing it harder.
Right. Everyone's coming up light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Homan doesn't love how this is setting up for her, so she's just going to kind of peel her way out a bit, create space in the middle there. She's definitely on the top guard, which was not the one she was going after, and that's going into the...
Little kiss on this one would work. 9.
So I just heard Homan on her mic talking to Miskew saying that they're happy to get a blank out of this. They don't feel like it's setting up that well for them, so I expect that they're going to start
Hold on a second, Greg. Emily.
hitting.
Maybe that's better. Same weight.
I feel like we're probably not doing it all.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Hard. Whoa.
Not bad. Definitely got rid of shot rock. Would have liked to probably not pop it out so much into the open.
So can she get rid of all 3 here?
I don't think she can quite get rid of all 3. I think that middle one's going to be somewhere still in play, maybe in the rings. We'll see.
Little tight line.
Yes, hard, really hard.
Yeah. Should get rid of just the one. I've watched Emma throw a lot of peels in my times playing against her and watching her on TV, and that looked like not a typical peel throw from them, so I'm wondering if they're working on adapting the releases to the ice surface.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She's usually pretty positive,
Yeah.
quite forceful out of her hand,
Right.
and that looked like a much more fluid throw.
Yes, yeah.
And that's what good curlers do, right? They figure out what the ice is giving them, and they make adjustments. So it's not surprising to me that the Homan team would have talked between games about how they want to release their rocks, what kind of weight they want to be throwing, what kind of a release they want to be throwing to get the results that they need.
Try and get shot. Okay. Like we can tap that behind here. I don't mind that. Open it up. Okay. And if you tap it nose, you tap it nose. Yeah. I think so. Just also like 211.
So Froud's sitting 3 in here right now. So Rachel's kind of changing tactics here. Now she's going to try to raise her rock into the rings, and she can still generate a couple points here.
Emma's got good line for this tap, and looks like a fairly decent weight.
for now we guard.
So Froud's talking about guarding with her first one.
Yeah, I think so. Just caught the hair.
Been hitting the rock.
You like the guard?
It's hitting half a rock.
For now, and then on my next one, just on the center, just across the center one.
Okay, so the guard, ideally, I guess they'd want it a couple of feet off the rings, somewhere on the right-hand side of the sheet, cutting down the hole, blocking the shot rock.
Not wide. Little early.
She felt she was a little tight out of her hand. And we know it definitely curls off the center line.
Off the blue, yeah.
So they're going to try and chap off that blue rock out front, recognizing that if left on its own, it will just over curl.
So that worked out.
Yeah, so she gets the rock in the position she wants.
I did two things. Actually.
Yeah, she also, I was going to say, she also kind of messes up the blues on the side.
Yeah.
That yellow-blue combo.
That's tough to throw the out turn at it. Out turn? That's tough to throw the out turn at it. Oh, okay. At the end? If I hit it too thick, I might hit it hard. Well, I don't think it can make it anymore. It might just take that stuff. Which is fine. Yeah. Ouch? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so Homan's going to try and make a double off these top yellows and sort of shimmy her blue shooter in between and sit second and third in the house. Yeah, I think a guard is a good call here, Mary. What do you think?
We had more. I think we had more.
No, not this one.
Just guard, I think. Like, she's going to play the run anyway. We don't want to give her a double distinct in there.
So what's the call here, Janet? Just gonna.
She's calling just for the guard.
Yeah.
She's taken a smidge more ice. She recognizes she was a little bit tight on her last one. If you recall, she came down and she rubbed off that blue one on the left-hand side of your screen. So she needs to kind of get out to the broom in order to. Yeah, it's still not wide.
Yeah.
Let's clean it.
Important to make this line's really important here.
Yeah,
otherwise, Rachel will have a shot for two.
Yeah. I think it should stop in time, and I think there's not a lot of risk for Rachel to throw the. I expect she'll try and make that blue double off her own.
Tap, tap, or if it hangs, you can just tap to go by it. Because you can still get to here.
So is Rachel just coming through the hole to try to draw for one?
I don't think she's coming through the hole, Mary. I think she's actually tapping that one that's just off the rings.
Well, that's what I assumed.
I think because she's talking about throwing back 8.
Not a
but
lot of ice.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
Tap a hair, she says. So I think she thinks she can get through that hole, and she probably can.
Right. So she's playing through the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. After, I mean, on the screen, It doesn't look very big. In
Yeah.
person, it looks
Yeah.
slightly bigger, but
Yeah.
not very big.
Yeah. Okay, well, it is for 2, so
Yeah, it's worth
she's
trying,
going to take
I
it
guess.
on.
Easy, Ellie. Girl.
Got that one out there.
Yeah, this is, you know,
They might still get the tap.
they're definitely on the top one, and I think that must have been the call all around because that wasn't even close.
Okay, yeah. No, it wasn't. Okay, so now we
steal.
have a steal for Team Froud, and that ties the game up at 2 apiece.
That's right.
We'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, in about 5.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Summer Fresh. Real food you can feel good about every day. Thank you to our silver sponsor, the Leslie Group Limited.
Welcome to Wheels. Wheels.games, your free casino. Oh, fantastic. Wheels.games, your free casino.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the 2022 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts Championship, brought to you by Curl On. We are watching Team Homan up against Team Froud. We've just completed the first 4 ends of draw 5, and we have a tie score here with 2 apiece.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a little up and down game with both sides, Janet, but little struggles here and there.
Yeah, it has been. So Homan's managed to flip the hammer, as they say, so it's a tie game, 4-end game, but Homan now has hammer, whereas Froud started the game with hammer.
Right.
Nicely done.
So we've got center guard to begin. No mistake by Kristen Turcotte, and I think they're calling Joanne Courtney to come around, but
Yeah, I think so.
doesn't look like the ice for the tick or anything crazy like that. So it's just straight up.
Wait only. Wait only. Nice seeing you guys. Whoa, whoa. Guys, nice shot though.
There's a nice come around.
Very nice. So now this one, I can see
Yeah.
freezing to it.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Shrinking the scoring area. So didn't do an update of late, so let's, everybody's in the 5th end. The other games are more further in the 5th end than this one, but we got 4-1 with Silky on sheet A. We got the Howard team up 4-3 over Inglis. Inglis has hammer, and the Duncan team stole 2 to tie it up 3-all against Man. And they're playing the 5th end as well.
Kristen, unfortunately, coming a little light and tight on that one. Took the guard. So now Rachel will just call Joanne to put one over in the wings.
Okay, looks heavy. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
So similar pattern of shots. Homan has decided just to go to the wing and try and create her deuce fairly simply, although throwing that rock through the rings isn't ideal. So we've got some rocks out front, we got a rock in the 4-foot, and the Froud team will be drawing, trying to maybe even with that chap from the last shot, they might be able to get around and get shot rock themselves. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Line's good. Line's good. Here it goes. Yep. Hard. You got it. Go. Hard, Emily. Hard. Okay, fine. Yes, you got it.
We're definitely seeing more curl through that 8-foot path. I think the hill that was in the 8-foot has been worked down, let's say.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a little bit more natural finish coming into the middle. And Grace made a lovely draw in there, did get shot rock, buried behind the guards. And the Homan team will peel that front in order to get access to that shot rock.
Now you'll probably see you'll see a guard go up, a guard peel, a guard go up, a guard peel. That's what you'll probably see here for the next few shots.
Yep. Until someone makes an error.
Mistake, yeah.
Yep.
Line's good. Little bit of long, baby. Gotta curl a bit. Switch. Yep, Kristen, you gotta go. Hard, Kristen. Hard, yeah.
Well, they didn't cover Shot Rock, but it's not the easiest hole in the world. But they're going to make a run at it. And
Well, this is worth a try, and if she doesn't make it, she's taking one of those guards out of the way.
that's
so.
right. And they then I heard Miscue there say, play it tight to the guard, not to the blue. So
Yeah.
And it looks like right out of hand, Sarah might have helped that one directionally towards that guard. And they are indeed tight to the guard, and we'll clear that out of the way. So Susan and the squad are looking to just replace that guard. Unfortunately, Emily got hers also moving towards.
I just don't understand this. So the first one she threw didn't curl enough.
Yeah.
This one way over curled.
Yeah. So we're talking
What's going on?
18 inches difference. So
What's going on out
what
there?
is going on?
So yeah, that's giving Rachel a real freebie here.
Freebie. And is Rachel's one in the back now on, I think, because of some rocks getting hit towards the back of the house. I think this is the hit to lay 3, to be honest.
I don't know if you look in the mirror at the back.
Oh,
there,
yeah. No,
don't
I can
think
see
so.
it's not on. Yeah. So we have overhead mirrors at the back of the sheets here. We've got the live sheet in front of us, and we have a computer monitor to look at. So there's different perspectives on each of them, especially for the senior eyes.
Well, there's a nice shot.
Yeah, really
That's exactly what you want to do. Get some separation there between the two blue rocks. So Susan's calling for the hit and roll. I mean, this is good if you make it.
Mm-hmm.
But we do talk about how hard it is to make the perfect roll. So.
It sure is.
But at least maybe to get it rolling over in that area a bit. Where they bunch the rocks together a little more.
Just lost it there at the end.
Good shot, good throw. Yeah. Well, they were so lively, so I just like waited a second and then, yeah. It was kind of tempting to throw the double.
So Janet, this is a neat call. And, you know, I would have walked up there and hit this and try to roll away to the same place she was.
Yeah.
She's going for the real long roll over
Underneath,
to freeze on
yeah,
top of that yellow one.
I know. Looks like though it's more in the. Oh well, it's pushing to get off, pushing to get in, but I think it's just gonna.
Whoa, leave it there, whoa.
So they would have been happy with the big roll. They were happy with the short roll as
that's
well.
quite a nice roll they have there. I kind of like that one better.
Yeah.
Susan's going to try to remove that top blue rock with board weight. She can see about half of the rock. Tricky shot.
that wide, but
I think she's by.
Mm-hmm.
She's got it.
Wow. It's a nice shot.
Really good shot.
Yeah.
Get the double out of it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Almost, yeah.
doesn't quite.
okay. Big mill, they're off the board. Yeah. Big mine will go a little more than yours.
I knew I threw that one soft, so I wasn't getting them off it.
Score. Yeah, it's big scratch down the middle there. Okay. Forward. Forward, hit roll on. Forward.
So Rachel's taken essentially the same kind of broom that she'd given Miscue, and is hoping to, I think, roll a bit under all that set of yellow rocks, and Susan might be forced to go hit the open one and concede two,
Yeah.
as opposed to chasing something and giving up a three.
Curl, curl.
They kind of, with the early sweep, tracked that one back. So they've left a hit and roll opportunity for the Froud team.
I think this is the one to play, even if we came over there.
Yeah.
Would you like the same weight or 10? 10?
If she hits this on the nose, I know that's not what she's trying to do, but if she does, I don't think she'll be shot, will she?
She won't be shot.
No. So she needs to get the roll here.
Definitely
Is that
does.
probably what I just threw anyway? Or anyway,
Yeah.
10 and a half?
I didn't hear the right call. That's hard. Yeah. I thought I heard it. Made it aggressive.
Okay, big roll in front of the blue.
She's going for the long roll.
Over in front of everything else.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Home, home, home.
Just looking for it to curl. I think she's got it pretty much on the beak, so I'll give Homan a draw for two.
It's curling here. Oh, there. Okay.
Wait, is it okay? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put a watch on this one. We haven't seen a draw
Okay.
Differently.
over here in a bit.
Might have set it out ahead.
Yeah. That same weight that I threw that came down over here.
So last shot here. In end number 5, Rachel Homan has an open draw for 2 points.
That's right.
Gotta hit the 8 foot here. Full 8 foot, we'll get it.
Mine's good.
Oops, missed it at the hot line. No time on this one. Okay, so sweepers look like they're feeling pretty good about it. They're going hard for weight, but the line is good.
Need full eight.
They just need full 8. And with
Keep it going.
unfortunately, with all that great
My
sweeping, it still came up
Goodness.
late.
My goodness. So
My-
just
yeah.
1 point there for
Yeah.
Team Homan in the 5th, then makes the score 3-2 after 5, and we will be right back.
Yeah, 15-2.
Thank you to our gold sponsor, Del Manor, Inspired Retirement Living. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Melita. Join the pursuit for better coffee.
Okay, we're back. Starting N6. Updates, we got with Silky up 4-2 over Daly on sheet A. The Howard Inglis game is tied at 4, playing the 6th end, Howard with hammer. And didn't see how it happened, but the Duncan team has managed a steal of 4 in the 5th end. So they're up 7-3 now over Team Man.
Well,
Okay.
Rachel won't be too happy with that one, Janet.
No.
Kind of an open draw to get to, 2 points on the board, and she comes up a little short, but
Yeah.
we have talked about it, and I think everyone's really struggling out there with draw weight.
They certainly are, and I can see the team on the sidelines there sort of talking, and definitely talking about draw weight, draw pass, how they're throwing it, a little bit of head scratching going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard. Yeah, they are hard. 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 Go. Just top 12.
So the Froud team made a nice come around to the top 8 around the Homan center guard. And let's see, Homan's going to counter with the freeze.
Yep.
Yeah, freeze is good.
I'll try and get the time. I know I haven't been very good. I'll try and get a time this time. So if you remember earlier today, probably in the back half of the games, we were seeing hog-to-hog times around 14-7, 14-8, and teams were happy with what they were getting, where the rocks were ending up. So we'll see what Joanne has thrown here.
Hard. Drag it. Yep, hard.
Really died.
So this is a 14-7. And the rock's going to come up just fully in the top 8 if it didn't hit into that. So, I don't know. It's kind of like what it was earlier.
Yeah. So there's 2 great shots put together right there.
Yeah.
2 nice draws.
2 nice draws.
Kristen will just try to freeze on top of those 2 rocks sitting on the center line.
The weight didn't really come off.
Line's a little tight. Where are you? Around? Yeah.
So they're suggesting that it might be a bit heavier than they're looking for, and Susan's playing a bit of an audible, trying to play in a round, but I think she's just going to play a chap.
Feather and go.
And we're going to tick to the open
Yeah,
here.
roll that open. She needs to roll that one deeper than, oh
That
boy.
was a big groan by Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that no one on the Homan team struggles to throw lots of weight on their takeout. So this one will be coming with some steam and trying to make the double.
Yep. Hard, Jill. Yep. You got it.
And she makes it perfectly.
Good enough, yes. Well, it doesn't remove it, and Froud does have hammer here, so.
Oh, Susan, remember, you have hammer.
What's she calling here?
She's calling a board weight hit on the half-buried rock.
Okay.
Maybe appeal, I think.
Appeal. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
maybe she
Sorry,
should
what
be
you're saying.
thinking about appeal. She's down one with hammer.
Down one with, yeah, she could.
I don't know.
I don't mind this. It's a tricky little shot, but again, keep that shooter in play. Oh, she's
boy.
real tight. You might get the peel.
Yeah, I think we're getting the peel on the guard. Yeah, and that's good.
Oh, interesting.
I think so.
It just stays in.
But she was allowed to hit that
She
rock
was allowed
anyway.
to hit it,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
We were past the 5 rock.
I don't hate just the nose, but I don't mind the guard either. Yeah, we just have the pressure on. But that's. Do you want to talk about it? What?
Okay, they're having a little timeout here. Team Homan, we're going to get to listen in on them talking about how they want to approach this.
It's tough to just give them the one, but sorry, it's tough to just give them the one and hit the open. Yeah.
So the Homan team
I
does
don't
not
mind
have a
too.
coach or
I
an
just don't
alternate
wanna
here
give
with
it
them,
to
so
you,
they're
so
just
I-
taking it as
I-
a timeout in
like-
order to stop their clock and have sort of
A
a
blank, if they make
thorough
it out, that
discussion
wasn't
about how they
blank,
want to
like, we're
approach
still
the rest of
one
this end.
after 6, it's not the end of the world. Okay, what was your gut, Dugard? Yeah, we know it, but no, it's not sure our rocks too, so we can just hit it. Okay. What kind of weight? I think normal out in the weeds, everything's slow.
The Froud team does have a coach, Al Corbet, Susan's husband. He's come out and given them his 2 cents for how he'd like to see the end progress, so we'll see what the Homan ring chooses. I think they'll probably hit the yellow rock in an effort to have a force.
This is the straight side, it shouldn't do much. Normal. Yep. Hard. Straight out. Hard to stay. Hard for a piece.
This is really
That
moving.
rock
Yep. Gotta go.
really curled on them. They did successfully remove the rock, but didn't stay, which allows the Froud team to go up. Oh, they're going to try and rearrange. What is it? Rearrange the furniture.
Yes.
See if they can get a better setup.
Yeah.
Other option here, Janet, would be this is
Play the double peel and
yes.
just kind of run out the end. Although they are losing the game, so
they are, yeah, but just by one though, so they could blank this end out, but because there's not a whole lot of rocks to work with here to try to get your deuce, but it can happen. Just saying that a little tougher.
yeah. Yeah, they run. We're down to what do they have left? 4 steel rocks. Okay.
Are we trying to stay?
They moved 1 rock behind the tee line.
Well, the thing is, how aggressive is Susan going to go at this point when there's not a lot to work with? But now she's going to have to.
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa! No. Take it.
Yeah, now she definitely has to, she's probably going to make a play, move that blue further back from the top 4 foot, kind of sit in front, create a big pile of pockets. And Al's calling a timeout, does not like this, calling a timeout from behind the glass.
Yeah.
He has a point of view, so we'll see what it is.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can hear it.
Just a little board weight hit and roll. Yeah. Okay. Sorry? Yeah. Okay. Board?
Okay, so Coach Al likes more of a clearing weight, we'll call it. So he'd like to remove at least one of the blues from the rings and roll in front.
Board? straight. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep, 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 yep. Run. Go, Grace. Yep, right out, right out, right out, right out, right out.
Well, I'm not sure how different that was to what they were originally wanting to do.
I guess, yeah, no. They didn't clear the rock out of the rings.
Right.
So, I mean,
don't know.
the angle, it rolled just a smidge too far. They kind of wanted to leave it.
You're sitting beside
Coach Al.
Ask him what he told them to do.
Al, what did you tell them to do? Can't hear us.
Yeah, like you have to tap it. Like even if it's a little heavy, I think that's better than it being light. Same speed, like last time I tapped here, and tapped to 8 foot, so. Close. 6 is good. He's going.
So they're playing a draw. I heard them say 6 is good. I think they're just setting up a freeze.
Guarding, maybe? I don't know.
I think they're
Rearranging the angles?
rearranging the angle.
Yep, roll it off, roll it off.
I think that works for them, doesn't it? Like they, well,
I mean, if the Froud team get access to this and kind of roll out open. Ooh, no, you don't want to do that.
Just tap it back a bit.
Tap it back a bit. Is the call. I think at this point you want to tap it back 4 feet and be laying 2.
but yeah, you definitely want to lay 2 after this. You're now kind of going for your 2.
Yeah. Which was what I heard Susan say to Al when he went
Right,
out, the coach.
yeah.
She said, well, I'm still playing for my 2. So it looks a little lighter than they probably want it to be. They'll make contact, but I don't know if they're going to roll it out.
Sorry. Now you're going the other way.
Okay. Not bad.
Ends up to be a freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And they are shot rock.
Yes.
Well, it definitely can't make it worse. I mean, yeah.
So Rachel's throwing peel weight at the nose of this blue one. She's expecting the 2 blues will sort of double out. The yellow will drag back and clip perhaps the other yellow.
Yeah.
She just recognizes the angles aren't really in her favor right now. She's going to use the big weight and try and just remove some yellow rocks.
Yep. Whoa. Yes. Yep. Yes.
Moved a lot of granite. Didn't remove the yellow shot rock.
Nope. So that's going to give Susan a
Yep.
chance to sit 2 here.
A chance to sit 2. Think about where she wants to put it.
Prices didn't go farther that way or higher, I guess. It was the other way. Like you needed it to go more side.
Okay, back 4 weeks. Okay.
So Susan wants to put this on the other side of the ring, sit second shot, but she wants to put a little bit behind the tee line so it does not set up a double for Rachel.
That's right. So we haven't really seen any wing play for the draws.
Running right now. Back 4. Make sure.
This is a tough little sweep for our brushers too, especially even Emily. Normally, as I mentioned at the beginning of the game, a skip.
Yes, that's true.
Junior skip. So, a bit tough. Yeah, against a lot of teams, that looks pretty good. But
Well,
needed to be deeper.
Rachel's
Yeah.
running down the other end to throw this rock.
Running.
Definitely a double set up here.
Then Susan will be forced in a draw against 4 if this double is made. So she threw that last one pretty hard. I expect similar weight coming out. This one, easy peel.
Yeah, easy peel. Yeah,
Easy
there you
peel.
go.
Yeah, definitely.
Hard! Whoa! 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 Close. Pistol. Great shot.
There's a nice shot. And that got the crowd going. That's what they wanted to see. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Susan knew that too. That's why she called to put that one behind the tee line,
Yeah.
but just didn't happen. So now she's got to draw the. Well, bite the button.
Bite the
here.
button, yeah.
We need buttons.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Summer.
So we have our first final out there tonight as Susan gets ready to throw this rock. The Duncan team managed to hold on to the lead they established over Man, and Duncan moves to 5-1 in the standings. And that drops Man to 3-2. Wasn't a great day for Man. They started the day at 2-0.
Yes. Yeah.
Here goes.
Our sweepers like it. They're on off talking about the curl. Looks real close. Just a bit heavy. Slid an inch too far. Yeah.
Nice attempt,
That's
though.
too bad.
So steal for Homan here. In end number 6 puts the score at 4-2 for Homan after 6 ends of play, and we will be back in a moment.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Summer Fresh. Real food you can feel good about every day. Thank you to our silver sponsor, Checkered Flag. Smart transport solutions for unique fleet challenges.
Okay, just starting end number 7 here. 4-2 for Team Homan. It's a nice throw that Susan made there in the last one. She was throwing against 5, was it?
Yeah,
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
So I think the sweepers gave that just a couple of more brushes than they should have, and unfortunately,
It didn't really slow down for them
It
coming
didn't,
through the
no.
middle. So Homan, being up 2, has opted to throw Courtney's first rock into the rings. They're probably not too concerned if Froud blanks out this end, given the 2-point advantage. I think that's what they're sort of saying by throwing it in.
yep.
Line's good. Line's good. Yeah, it's gone weird. Nice one, Kristen. Good job. Good job, Nate.
So Joanne's first rock did go a little heavier than what they wanted, so now calling just to put the second one in the top 8.
Yeah. Hands for weight. It's still there. 6-7.
So they think this one's sort of running at a similar speed. It'll probably stop just at the top of the 4-foot.
It does look like
she goes with that hitting again, Janet. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind board weight.
Yeah.
He definitely wants to score 2 here, if not a possible 3. So rocks in play are her friend.
That's right.
This one looks like it's really moving.
Oh boy, and this is like the first shot of the game again. It just really crossed on her.
Yeah. Well, she does stick
Yeah,
around
that's
over there
great.
in the wings, so that's not bad. Rachel's going to go up and hit that rock for sure.
Yeah.
I think Rachel would like Sarah just to roll right out on this too. I don't think she wants to hit and stick there and give the Froud team anything to freeze too.
Well, that one's definitely rolling out.
Line's pretty good. 3, 4. Yep.
I threw like a normal weight and I let go edge on edge of the rock and I flashed it.
4, 5. Whoa, we're on the guard. Yep, keep going. Yep. Okay. I think the nose is pretty good, Sarah.
Yeah, I like that. You don't need to change
Just calling to hit this one on the nose because that's really going to block off that whole area, and that's the sort of the area that Susan wants to use to come around that corner guard. So.
And I heard Emma saying to Sarah, you don't have to change your release on this one. So back to my point from earlier, they're clearly working with a couple of different releases out there tonight.
This one's not going to curl enough, going to roll away.
It might be on.
Okay, they're trying to get around that guard again. So Grace just rubbed the guard on her first one, so hopefully she's made the necessary adjustment to get around. It's a significantly different line.
Hard.
Yeah. Oh, Susan thinks that rock might be straight. Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say this young second stone they have. She seems to have not a well-matched pair of rocks.
Yeah.
She's not getting a lot of great results. So not sure what number she's throwing, but one of the yellow rocks is potentially straight.
No, it doesn't work. Just leave it. What? Don't curl. No, it just makes it straighter. It kind of knows it, right? Curl.
Interesting. Do you hear that, Mary? Emma's convinced that any kind of sweeping in that area.
Directional
Yeah,
sweeping.
directional
Yes.
sweeping just keeps it straighter anyway. So
Yeah.
she's like, just keep the brooms off, let the rocks grab.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll curl on their own.
Well, now there's a couple of blue rocks more in the center line area, so it's time for Susan to switch gears now. She's going to try to freeze.
You're like, this is stopwatch. It's just
Whoa, over curling it here. Yeah. This should actually curl. Heel? Okay. Quarter. Yep. Hard. 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 Hard, Joe.
So they got Emma just picking this yellow rock out.
But Joanne Courtney really does have great sweeping form.
Yeah.
She works hard at it, that's for sure.
Yes. She certainly does. And for those of you who don't know, I'm sure anybody who's watching probably knows, because if you're watching a YouTube streaming of curling, you're probably a curling fan.
Right.
Joanne has decided at the end of this season to focus her efforts on some other things outside of curling, and won't be playing with the team next year. I don't think it's the end of Joanne Courtney, the curler.
No,
but
I don't think so.
I think we just won't see her next season.
Yeah. Time for break.
Yeah.
Gotta go, Kristen. You gotta go, I think. Okay. Yep. You gotta get some of it buried. Yep. Right. Okay. Or like mine. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to just pop through the hair and then it just runs dead straight. It's just so hard to
You know, all it takes is getting one perfectly around a corner guard to get 2 points on the board, but they just haven't been able to quite bury those rocks.
I don't think it's track reach. I threw nice forward and it curled. Okay. Just that one. Like once that one was on. I need less, okay.
It's looking as though the Froud team is going to get 4-1 this end,
yeah.
which is never ideal.
Yep, clean. Just clean. Clean. Yeah, whoa, just go. We don't need to go. Just clean. Whoa, let it have the hair. Good, Rach. On the white side.
Okay, so Susan's going to try to sort of tuck behind the blue, she indicated.
Yeah, she's going to tuck around the one that's on the top of the forefoot. Correct? I would believe she's calling for back 4, back 8.
Yeah.
Really came in there hard at the end, didn't it? So a little more than Line's a little tight. Yep. You gotta go. Yep. Hard line.
It's curling early.
Hard line.
Whether or not this gets buried, it's yeah. Okay, so over on sheet A, we have Daly and Wasilki playing their 8th end. They're a little more than coming up to halfway through. Wasilki's up 1 with hammer. Sheet B, the Inglis-Howard game. Inglis just scored a deuce. Howard, however, is up 1, 7-6 with hammer coming home.
What do you think Rachel wants to do here? Hit it on the nose, make a little roll?
I think she's happy enough
Doesn't matter.
Just to hit it. Force the Froud team into a precise shot to score their 1, and Homan will be up 1 with hammer coming home, and she would have bought that ticket at the beginning of the game. So.
Yep, other way. Yep, roll it high. It's curling, Just let it roll it high. Hard tilt. I threw here a couple irons ago, right?
So an open hit and stick here for Susan. When I say open, it's open, but it's not necessarily easy.
No, very precise.
Yeah. Looking good.
Yeah, good shot.
So nice hit by Susan Froud there. Gives the Froud team a single point here in the 7th end. Score is 4-3. After 7 ends of play, we will be back in a moment.
Excellent.
Need extra space? We rock at Storage. Try 4 weeks free at a location near you. Access Storage. Proudly Canadian and proud sponsor of the 2022 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Just a short drive north of Toronto, Vaughan is the ideal destination for your next road trip adventure. Go to visitvaughan.ca.
Okay, we're back for the start of the 8th end. The Froud team knows what they have to do. They have to create some offense and get a steal going on. They talked about whether they throw the 3 or the 1 first.
Oh, I think you got 1.
Opting.
All year, but I think you got 1.
Ooh.
Closer to 1 than a 3.
So we're going to see a attempt at the tick from Joanne Courtney. And it's trying hard to curl, but looks like it's probably just going to air by.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
Just ticks it.
Just make contact. They just let that rock curl on its own natural.
Yeah. Just threw a nice kind of a back liner at the most of that.
Yeah.
She gets it off the center line, though.
Yep.
Nice shot.
Job done.
Line's good. Okay, beside it. It was like attack, but not tied up. It was close. It's just I don't think you can throw anymore.
So they're trying the tick again, a little bit whoa out of hand, but again, this rock is trying, and this one is not going to make contact.
Okay, game on.
Susan's throwing another guard in around her long guard.
Line's pretty good. 3. Yes, early. Yes, early. Yes.
I thought my teal picked, but then when I saw my double curl, I was like, oh, it just curls like that.
Yep. Hard bump it. Hard bump it.
Three-quarters. Sorry? Three-quarters. 7/8. Can we go that way or no? And I think we give them a better guard.
The Homan's team's trying to figure out how they want to double peel
Yes.
these.
Yeah. It over curls, it's fine.
This seems like the more natural side to come at this. The out-turn peel.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's hard to do.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Top 4.
Yeah. Okay, so break there. So
Yeah.
Susan will now start to try to come into the rings.
Yeah, there's not a lot of point. Her guard's sort of at the halfway mark,
Yeah.
so
That way, then stuff.
It's just going to set up a
It's gonna
double,
set up
so
a
you might as
double.
well get one in
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Wow. Yep. Line's good. Yep. Hard as you can go. Yep. Line's really curling now. Yep. Hard.
they definitely
Go.
have
Get it,
nice
boy.
line. I think that they're only going to be at best in the full 12.
Well, at least if they could wrap it around
Yeah.
so that it's directly behind.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
No.
Like, you want a single peel?
Agreed.
I don't mind trying it, and just the peel's good. This comes out the hair. If you like little nose, I think you're no. Yep. Oh, let it go, let it go. Two. Yeah. Really nice, Sarah.
Jesus.
Line's a little tight. 2. Just 2.
But the thing is, I think if you're
Okay. Whoa. 2's good. 2's good.
Putting up a guard here, still want to keep as much separation between those two rocks as she can,
Yeah, definitely.
because that yellow one in the top 12 is kind of acting, or could help them, use
Guard
that as a guard
separation,
as well.
for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, no. Just clean. Oh.
We just have a straight peel here.
Oh.
Two. Ryan's pretty good too. Just here. Ryan right now. Careful, 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 just here.
So looking for that long guard.
Yep, just over the hog is fine.
A little bit, yep.
I think that's good. No.
I let it go. No. Yeah. And I was like, I
Rachel
can't.
will just keep peeling that
Yes.
one. There's no double peel, and you'd hate to stick it, so she's just going to keep peeling that one, and eventually Susan may have to use the one in the top 12 to come around,
Yeah.
which isn't ideal, but
Whoa, whoa. It's okay. Whoa, just clean. Whoa. Off.
Interestingly enough, they've hit and rolled into the side of that
Yes.
guard a number of times. It's
Yeah.
now covering the edge of the forefoot.
yeah, it's moved along
It's- yeah.
closer to the center line.
Yeah, twice.
So that'll be the guard that Susan may eventually be using to
Yes.
come around.
All right, 2.
Well, 3 really tight games out there tonight, Janet.
Yeah, everything looks like it's going to come down to the wire.
Yes.
We've got the Wasilki team peeling their way, it looks like, to a win.
Yeah, they're one up with right
Yeah.
now, playing 8.
And the Howard team's one up with as well, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look quite as nice of a setup for them. We've got Carly peeling on her first one. Like, a couple of- Well, that.
All right, that one just ran nicely.
Okay, so Susan's got her guard, and Rachel's going to definitely try for that double peel now. The rocks are only about 2 feet apart. Emma's taking a bit of time to make sure she understands the angles so something doesn't end up back on that blue one at the back 12.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
She cleared everything out, left her center guard though.
Shift it over now. Was I right to the broom? Okay.
For us, so it was like almost not there.
Top button would be great.
If you're wide like you, that's right. It's okay.
So here we go. Susan throwing her first shot in the 8th end here,
Close,
trying to
it's
get around this
clicking.
guard.
Yep,
Gotta watch the curl here.
Oh, she's gonna. Oh,
think
she's
it's by.
by. Now it's about the weight. It stays in play. Forces Homan to make a play at it.
Just needed more ice too. Was I good on the broom? I tried to get right out to it. Good pick.
So Rachel's actually going to come in on this one, Janet.
Well, it's her last shot.
Oh, it is last. I guess she has to.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go home. I was thinking this is Rachel's first.
That's
Yeah,
all
so
right.
she does have to come in on this one.
Yes, for those of you who haven't been with us all day, we started at 9:30 this morning. We've had a lot to talk about.
Long day.
We've watched a lot of curling rocks. And Mary will be back with you tomorrow. With Lori. Mary and Lori tomorrow.
That's right.
Two girls in a game.
Last shot of the game coming up here. Needs to make this in order to not have to go extra end.
That's right. She hasn't had a lot of luck in this spot, if you remember. She's come up a little shorter. No. Oh. Looks like the sweepers are just going for wake. Line is not an issue.
And
Homan
she makes
scores
it. Okay, so Rachel Homan wins draw number 5 here at the Ontario Scotties. We are coming back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. and we're going to be featuring Team Man up against Team Wazilki. Until then, everybody have a great evening.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Summer Fresh. Real food you can feel good about every day. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Del Manor, Inspired Retirement Living. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Melita. Join the pursuit for better coffee.
Need extra space? We rock at Storage. Try 4 weeks free at a location near you. Access Storage, proudly Canadian and proud sponsor of the 2022 Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Just a short drive north of Toronto, Vaughan is the ideal destination for your next road trip adventure. Go to visitvaughan.ca.